So I needed something to feel good. Because I felt so good in yoga, I kept doing it alongside corporate. And then eventually I did full-time yoga. In my head, I always need to have, a plan. So I instead of just doing full-time corporate, I was then in corporate yoga. So I went in with a big chain. I worked with them. I, learned their systems. I did management there.
Okay, you're saying like you went and worked at a yoga, like a yoga studio type of thing?
Yeah, like
Okay.
corporate style yoga.
Well, before that too, like when you first started, you started with the like going to a class. Like, do you suggest people like start with classes or starting with YouTube or just whatever
Yeah.
works?
Yeah. So it depends on the person. YouTube is a great resource because you can take class with anyone anywhere. So you may not have people in your area that teach in a way or that, do something that would light you up, that would give you a zing.
Gotcha.
So that's number one. However, if you're in person or if you're willing to travel or whatever the case may be, if there's a studio nearby and you like to try it, I definitely recommend trying it because there's something different about being in person that you just can't quite
The
yet.
same, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So yeah, like you went into the corporate studios and everything. So like, give me a little bit of that journey, and then kind of take me to like you starting your own.
Yeah, corporate was really cool because every day I was waking up before I went to corporate yoga. I was working in corporate America and be like, dang, I wish I was doing something that didn't make me regret like pressing snooze 5 times and then waiting
Hmm.
until to drive real fast to get to my job, and be upset because then people are in my way and people are cutting me off. So I had road rage. And it's just
Hmm.
like so many things that happened came from just not feeling fulfilled.
Right.
Then I, would have arguments with it was very easy for me to have disagreements with people because I felt like I was always on edge and like always ready for that last feather on the camel's back.
Hmm.
Who wants it? I was not
Gotcha.
a very nice person. Like that was one of the first things people used to notice when I first started yoga. They're like, "Oh, Alicia, you've been so nice today. You've been in such a good mood today." And I was just like,
Well, it's like the thing of like filling up your own cup so you have something to overflow into people.
that
Definitely.
part,
So
that
yeah,
part.
like how was? Oh, you
Yeah,
got it. Go
because
ahead. Go ahead.
everybody knows that one person who's in pain that
Hmm.
oh, fill in the blank, whoever it is.
Hmm.
And I was starting to be that person because I was dealing with inflammation, pain, waking up in pain, chronic pain. It changes your personality
Yeah.
because you're literally like your body hurts. Like
Yeah.
think about you don't want to talk to people when your stomach hurts. Like when you got a headache, it's like every day waking up and something hurts.
Yeah.
It gives you it's like waking up on the wrong side of the bed every single day.
Gotcha.
Crazy.
So yeah, how'd you kind of start doing like your own yoga training? Like, what was the initial idea? Was it to start online or open a studio kind of thing?
Yeah. Okay, cool. This is such a good question because there are a lot of people I feel like you think about doing your own thing, freelance or whatever it's going to be.
Yeah,
So I needed to have a plan because I told you
definitely.
I was type A. I was always an overachiever. So like I can't just leave my corporate job that's, taking care of the bills and such. And I was like, okay, well, if I can add this on. So I added yoga on while working in corporate America. And then I fell in love with the community there. Like, they were super cool. They loved my credentials. Like I said, the resume was
Yeah,
stacked.
definitely. You get your foot in the door a
So,
lot of places.
yeah. And so, especially since I had, management experience in corporate, it was a very easy transition. So I ended up working in management at that location or at a couple locations.
Okay.
And I was able to then be barefoot. It's like I wanted to be barefoot and wear comfortable clothes. And
Gotcha.
so I was barefoot and got to do yoga whenever I wanted to. Still had that corporate feeling. But what I loved about it is it gave me flexibility to do their trainings. Like I said, I always been a nerd, really cool nerd. or a sexy nerd, I was
Mhm. I hear you.
so I was in there like, yes, I get the trainings all, and they had so many cool trainings. So I would take all the trainings, and I just found a love for it and started to take so many trainings that I knew the trainers very closely. And then they took me under their wing. They also happened to be married. And so I saw their relationship up close because I worked so closely with them in so many trainings. So like I would spend hours a day with them and saw how they talk to each other, how they encourage each other, even in, situations other people might argue. They were like,
Mhm.
oh, honey, I know that we're such a good team and we might not be agreeing on this. So, let's do X, Y, Z. And they're like, okay, honey, let's do that. I was like, oh, that's cool. And so I
Gotcha.
realized that people who do things that light them up, they're able to have more meaningful relationships with other people. So that's
Definitely.
friendship, that's parents, that's marriage. And so that helped me to then bring that into my marriage now. And the way I got into training is really that fascination. And then one day there was this golden skinned woman walked up to me, and she'd been to a couple of my classes. And she was like, Alicia, I want to train with you. I'm like, oh, great. We do have a training coming up. Let me get you the application, or let
Yeah.
me get you registered or whatever. And she's like, no, you're not getting it. I want to train with you.
Personally.
Yeah. So I was like, what? Okay. Cause I still had a lot of imposter syndrome, all of that.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, train with me, okay. So that's what really first started me thinking about that. And I mean, you know, I already had so many credentials that actually qualified me because I knew that I wanted to, that desire to, have trainings. So I was like, okay, well, what do I need? So I worked it backwards. Like, okay, well, I need to have certain registration as a school. I need to have a certain level of education as a trainer, as a teacher. So, okay, how do I get those things? And so I mapped out, okay, how am I going to get there? And
Yeah.
then I went and started the school. And funny enough, that same person that asked me, that had me go all of that route, she never even signed up with me. Like literally, I've had my school since 2017. She probably asked me in like 2016. And she never signed up with me. And
Gotcha.
it's not about the person or the people. It's about the message. Sometimes the message comes through in a way that it doesn't quite make sense until you look at it and you turn around and say, oh,
Well, you
I
needed
need to
that
hear
push.
that. Yeah, I needed to hear that message.
Yeah.
It wasn't about her. It was about people are attracted to, not just attracted to me physically, but they're attracted to the knowledge that I have, the
Right.
curiosity, the voice that I speak in. Like, if you're watching this and you're thinking about what can I bring to the table, whatever field it's in, you get the most zing for yourself and zing for other people when you do something your own unique way.